3 soldiers killed during a military training exercise in the desert of California, and tonight we are learning more about what went wrong. Plus, we're going to hear from the mother of the one soldier who did survive. We've got live reports coming up.
And dramatic images of a journalist working in the Middle East will explain what happened here.
Hi, I'm Carlos Tovai, live at Dodger Stadium. Why are we here? Take a look at this. The boys of spring are about to become the boys of summer. Yes, the Dodgers are back in town. First of all, for a 2-game exhibition set against the Cleveland Indians. We'll have a live report coming up in sports.
AccuWeather is sponsored by Pacific Bell from the SBC Global Network. We're on it.
Meet Generation Now. We are your new networking partner. We are the farmers of the new technological frontier. We are the captains of cross-platform compatibility. We are the swamis of Silicon Super Connection.
You are morons who never answer the phone.
Need a networking partner who runs their business like a business? SBC Pacific Bell. We're on it.
No payments for 1 year? That's a long time.
At Empire's huge carpet sale, there are no monthly payments for 1 year. Plus, warehouse direct to you means big savings.
That's incredible.
Empire brings samples to your home and installs the next day.
That's fast.
Call Empire and make no payments for 1 year.
That's for us.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Live from NBC4. This is the Channel 4 News at 5:30.
Once again, a very good evening. I'm Chuck Henry in for Paul Moyer.
And I'm Colleen Williams. Here's a quick look at some of the stories making news today. PLO leader Yasser Arafat tonight called the attack on his Ramallah headquarters terrorism by Israel. Earlier, Israeli tanks blasted holes in his compound in the West Bank. Israeli soldiers opened fire on his guards, killing 5.
Cardinal Mahoney today talked about the sexual abuse scandal and delivered his Good Friday Mass. The LAPD is taking this investigation very seriously, and it's set up a hotline for more victims to come forward.
Also, a massive search is on tonight for a bank robber who shot and wounded a local bank teller. This all happened at the Antelope Valley Bank. The teller is now listed in fair condition. There's really no description so far of the robber.
At Fort Irwin, flags are flying at half-staff this evening for 3 soldiers. They were killed in a training accident in the high desert. That accident happened at the fort, which is just outside Barstow, about 120 miles northeast of Los Angeles. Channel 4's Gordon Tokomatsu is live near Barstow now with more details on this accident. Gordon?
Well, Chuck, Fort Irwin's National Training Center is actually world-renowned for its very realistic battle training programs. Every year, some 50,000 soldiers are rotated through that program. This morning, tragically, 3 of them lost their lives. It's called the M1064, designed for 2 things, really, carrying personnel and launching mortars. Early this morning, a tragic accident. During live fire maneuvers like these, one of the mortars detonated, but before it could clear the vehicle.
A mortar round exploded inside a mortar carrier during a routine scheduled live fire training exercise.
The 3 soldiers were here to train, sent from the 1st Brigade, Fort Riley, Kansas. The injured soldier has family in Laguna Niguel. Today, our Vicky Vargas spoke with the mother of Jamie Ware. He only suffered cuts and bruises in the accident, but he also saw 3 comrades die.
He's okay, but he's emotionally, I can tell he's just pretty upset.
As for the cause of the accident, the Army says an investigation could take weeks. This is the 2nd California training mishap in as many days. 2 crew members died Thursday when a U.S. Navy chopper crashed in Central California. The investigation into this morning's accident will no doubt focus on that mortar that exploded, as well as the vehicle and the possibility that human error may have been involved. Reporting live from outside Barstow, Gordon Tokumatsu, Channel 4 News.
All right, Gordon. In the Middle East, meantime, a journalist covering Israel's military action in the West Bank was shot and wounded. This was all caught on tape, and we warn you, the video is very intense. The bullets apparently came out of nowhere, shattering the car window that cameraman Carlos Hendel was riding in. His partner at the wheel hits the gas, drives to a safe location. Hendel, the camera still in his hand, There, as you see, jumps out of the car and then collapses. Later, he is driven to a nearby hospital. Tonight, he is listed in stable condition.
The federal government is making a bid for that huge supply of smallpox vaccine that was discovered yesterday at a medical storage facility in Pennsylvania. That facility is owned by a French drug company. The vaccine was apparently forgotten after the worldwide eradication of the disease about 2 decades ago. But now, post 9/11, feelings have changed.
This supply is going to bolster our emergency smallpox stockpile, provide an extra layer of protection for all Americans should a smallpox outbreak occur.
Health Secretary Thompson said that newfound vaccine is going to be tested very thoroughly to make sure it is still usable.
And the duties of reserve firefighters in Orange County are being revised. No longer will they be relied upon for frontline work. The Orange County Fire Authority has over 300 reservists that respond to emergencies like this toxic spill. But under a new policy change approved just last night, the reservists will now be used only for traffic accidents and medical calls. This plan was backed by the firefighters union that complained the volunteer program was not working.
Former football great Jim Brown has gone on a 3-week hunger fast as he serves his jail sentence for vandalism. Here you see Brown as he surrendered himself in court earlier this month. You may recall that a judge sentenced Brown to 6 months in jail for smashing the windows of his wife's car during an argument. That was in 1999. Brown rejected an offer for probation because it required him to go through domestic violence counseling. The Ventura County Sheriff's Department says that Brown is not fasting to protest, but to cleanse and test himself.
The American Medical Association is sending doctors back to school, not for more education, but to encourage more minority students to become physicians. Channel 4's chief medical editor, Dr. Bruce Hensel, is here now with details on this for your health. Dr. Bruce.
Colleen, there's really a very good reason for this. The diversity of American doctors trails far behind the diversity of the population. A recent government study indicates this is one of the main reasons for a disparity in health care among racial and ethnic minority groups.
So has anybody here even thought about being a doctor?
Dr. William McDade is asking that question of youngsters at Arthur Ashe Jr. Elementary School in Chicago. McDade is taking part in the AMA's Doctors Back to School campaign to encourage minority children to consider careers in medicine. The AMA says only 7% of the doctors in the U.S. are African American, Hispanic, or Native American.
This year's numbers are the lowest they've been since 1990, and we're looking at potentially the worst year ever next year.
Despite overall improvements in the health of Americans, minorities still have lower life expectancy, higher disease rates, and are less likely to have insurance and access to health care.
There are huge problems in terms of trust that minority people have with the medical profession. And so if you can do something to engender trust in your profession, I think that would be important.
McDade says minority doctors tend to practice in predominantly minority communities, so it's important for kids in those communities to learn they can make a difference. McDade took this message to his former elementary school.
It meant an awful lot because a lot of times in African-American communities, our children don't get a lot of exposure to different types of professions.
And it seemed to inspire at least a few 8th graders to reconsider their futures.
Because I wanted to be a football player when I got a little older. But he taught me a lot, and he makes me, I think I want to be a doctor.
All right. The AMA says the medical profession needs to keep pace with the changing population in the country. It's hoping that sending these doctors into minority communities will help inspire a new generation of doctors. Very, very important story. I'm glad to see this happening.
That's a great idea. Yeah. As long as I've known you, I've never asked you this question. What inspired you and at what point in your life? Because you wanted to be a baseball player. I do know that.
That is true. I wasn't a good enough baseball player to play in the major leagues. That was one thing. But my parents had a child that died before me and died from an error that they never asked the doctor about. The doctor wouldn't answer any questions when the kid first went in, and that made me very upset. It just stayed with me. The doctors didn't communicate, and I wanted to make a difference.
I've got to follow up. At what age did you make that decision?
After college. I went to college to play baseball.
So you were still
after college, I went back. I drove a cab in New York.
Infielder, outfielder, pitcher, catcher?
Outfielder, average.
Really?
Outfielder.
Obviously, but a great doctor.
Okay.
Thanks,
Bruce. Would you be willing to pay even more taxes? Yes, give the government more of your money. Now you can. Details of one lawmaker's most unusual proposal.
Plus, looking for some new movies this holiday weekend. We'll show you what is out there new for you.
And to find out what's ahead in sports, there he is out at Dodger Stadium, Carlos.
Thank you very much, Chuck. In fact, what's ahead is a live report and a live interview with a guy who had a great year last year with the Dodgers. We'll tell you who that is when we come back. But the question is, how do you spell Scottie Pippen? Well, apparently, Phil Jackson has his own interpretation. That's coming up in just a minute in sports.
You're watching the Channel 4 News at 5:30 with Colleen Williams, Paul Moyer, Fritz Coleman AccuWeather, and Fred Rogan Sports.
I'm Brian Williams. Tonight from the explosive front lines of Israel, Tom Brokaw's reporting. Can anyone prevent all-out war? And telemarketers and all those phone calls. Even when you tell them don't call, they don't listen. Turns out there are new ways to stop them. Tonight.
Say goodbye to being stuck with equipment your business has outgrown and tap into the Kinko's network.
Sweeto Square.
You guys aren't going to get this thing.
What do we do?
Depends on where in LA you're coming from.
I'm Danish.
Look for a deal that can't be beat.
Exit 60. Can we give it again? 605 and exit at South Street.
We love you in Russia.
Come on down for the best car deal around. Get down to South Street.
It's all there.
We sell more, so you'll save more. Auto Square.
Don't get me singing.
For 17 days, you watched young men and women from around the world come together in one special place for the 2002 Olympic Winter Games. The games are over now, and the athletes have all gone home, but their playground is still here.
Say goodbye to machines taking up valuable office space and tap into the Kinko's network.
You had a very good question for Dr. Bruce. I've got another one. Why is it? I mean, hot dogs are hot dogs, but why do they taste better at Dodger Stadium? I mean, what is it?
Dodger
Here's
dogs.
Carlos.
I got to tell you right away, as soon as this is over, I'm going to run right up there and get one of those because those are great. But we are here at Dodger Stadium, of course, for the opening of baseball season, which is Tuesday against San Francisco. But they're here for a two-game exhibition set against Cleveland Indians. And here with me is a man who had a great year last year for the Dodgers, batting .320, and now in the number 3 spot, Paul LaDuca. And Paul, you talked a moment ago, you said, I'm not putting any pressure on myself. I'm in the number 3 spot, which is a very important spot in the lineup.
Well, it is, but, you know, I'm going to try to go about my business like I did last year. If I try to do too much, it's not going to happen. I'm fortunate enough I'm going to have Sean behind me, and it's going to probably give me a lot of help. So whatever's best for the team. I told Trace wherever he wants to hit me is fine.
How did you do in spring ball? How do you feel you did in spring ball in terms of coming in here? Do you feel as comfortable as you did last year?
I felt comfortable last week. You know, it took a little while, but the last week to 10 days, I felt a lot better. My timing's back, and I feel like I'm ready to go right now. I can't wait till Tuesday.
Now, there's a pitcher that's come back that we all know about, and he's new to you this year, Hideo Nomo. Everybody knows about him. Tell me what it's like.
You know, Hideo's throwing the ball well all spring training. I've caught him like 5 or 6 times, and I'm really happy the way he's been throwing the ball. It looks like his fastball's back to the way it was when he first got here, and he's such a great guy, and he's pretty easy to communicate with. He's got good English, and we've been working well all spring.
And you guys aren't going to win any kind of pennants or any kind of playoffs or anything without your big guy, and we're talking about Kevin Brown. How does he look right now?
You know, he's been throwing the ball great last 2 or 3 outings. He threw yesterday, and I talked to him today. He said his arm felt great. He's ready for opening day, and, you know, it's all about our health. If our pitching stays healthy, we're going to be very tough.
Well, I say this, and I say it, and I mean it when I say it. You're one of the good guys, and wish you another good year here with the Dodgers. You're always good with us, and you're always good working with us.
Thank you. Anytime.
All right, I appreciate it, Paul. Get back to work. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon. All right, we're going to talk about the Lakers now because the Lakers just a game and a half back of the Kings for the best record in the West, host the Blazers tonight. Now, after that lackluster loss against the Suns on Wednesday, tonight's showdown is, of course, crucial. And Coach Phil Jackson was asked, which player is the key to Portland's success?
Scottie Pippen. It's spelled S-C-O-I-T-T-I-E, yes.
Huh? Pippen spells his name S-C-O-T-T-I-E. You better hear that again to make sure that was not a mistake.
Scottie Pippen. It's spelled S-C-O-I-T-T-I-E, yes.
Any way you spell it, but that doesn't happen often with Phil. Pippen's a tough matchup. One other note to tell you about. Power forward Rasheed Wallace, will not play tonight due to a bad back against the Lakers. All right, what else is going on tonight? The Clippers, of course, are in Phoenix tonight. Tip off in just a few minutes from Phoenix. Finally, you don't often see coaches yelling at referees during a game, but never have you seen a governor express his feelings about a bad call until last night? Take a look at this. That's Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura going at it with referee Derek Stafford, who was quite amused by the whole situation. The governor appeared ready for the smackdown on the court, but thought better of it. Now, I wonder if Governor Gray Davis would ever be that animated about a bad call against the Clippers or the Lakers. But then again, I don't remember ever seeing Gray at the Staples Center. Anyway. Who knows? That's sports from Chavez Vivrine right now. We'll be back again with another live report at 6 o'clock. I will see you then.
Got it. All right, Carlos. Thank you. It is spring break for most people, so what's playing on the local big screens? Coming up next, lots of new movies headed to a theater near you. We'll show you if you should pay or play.
Not quite sure why, but would you be willing to pay more taxes? Soon you may be able to do just that if one state lawmaker has his way.
You've got no time for lunch. Wah! And even less money.
Now at El Pollo Loco, 4 great combos including the 2-piece meal, classic chicken burrito, or 1-pound pollo bowl. Just $4.99 each.
When things get crazy, you need El Pollo Loco.
Out here, nothing gets in our way. We go up it, we go through it, we go over it. Kind of like Dodge Durango. Magnum V8 power plus up to 4 tons of available towing muscle and available 8-passenger seating. Dodge Durango. When you're ready to get up and go to California's Truck Stop, otherwise known as your California Dodge dealer. Grab Dodge's 7/100 powertrain pledge plus a cash allowance. Ford, GM, Toyota, and Honda don't match it.
You know, Italian-made suits are among the most fashionable. Of course, our prices have a way of making them look even better. The Men's Warehouse. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Make a wish and watch the signs of aging fade. Rock Skin Refining Treatment, a daily moisturizer with pure retinol and vitamin E, visibly reduces fine lines, smooth texture, and even skin tone, increasing radiance by 66% in 3 weeks. Look forward to another beautiful year with skin refining treatment from Rock. We keep our promises.
Inside the cockpit and airborne with American fighter pilots. Then real-life panic room. Plus, Elton comes clean.
30 minutes after having a seizure, I'd be doing cocaine again.
Next, Access Hollywood.
Tonight at 7:30 here on NBC for Los Angeles.
Monday at 5 on the Channel 4 News. The day after the Academy Awards. Who wore what and who took home the night's biggest awards. A complete wrap-up plus the show after the show. The post-Oscar parties. Monday at 5 on the Channel 4 News. You're watching the Channel 4 News at 5:30.
Michelle Ruiz standing by in the newsroom right now with a quick look at what's coming up tonight at 6. Michelle?
Colleen, just a few minutes from now on the Channel 4 News at 6, the investigation that is shaking the Catholic Church to its very core on this holiest day of the year, Good Friday. And new information that pinpoints the reason the World Trade Center collapsed on September 11th. Also, some airline companies are fighting back against installing stronger cockpit doors, what the companies want to do instead. Plus, you've probably been there to the emergency room where you are forced to wait. Now answers about why the ER is always so crowded. Those stories and your Easter weekend forecast. It's supposed to be beautiful. Coming up at 6. Chuck, back to you.
Thank you. And it's going to be a big weekend for movies. Let's see. We've got a thrill.
If they win the championship, then he'll try out for the major leagues. Quaid, as Jim Morris, stuns baseball scouts with his amazing pitching speed. And at an age when other players retire, Morris sees his dream come true.
A lot of new films out there, and The Rookie, incidentally, opens nationwide tonight.
A unique opportunity for some Southland High School students today. They got a first-hand look at what it takes to be an Air Force pilot. These students in Torrance got a feel for what it's like to soar in the cockpit of an F-16 fighter jet. Air Force recruiters brought the Air Force experience to the students. They actually use a flight simulator to give the students a glimpse of the thrills of flying and to, of course, talk to them about Air Force careers.
Still to come, the investigation into the sexual abuse of priests widens. Here in Southern California, we're live.
Also, a new turn in the attempted rescue of a dolphin stuck in a canal in Oxnard.
But first, as you know, tax time quickly approaching. Have you taken care of business? We'll have a last-minute checklist for you.
Channel 4 Sports is sponsored by Arco. Why just buy gas when you can fill smart? Arco, fill smart.
Hey, Jim, isn't that your wife? Well, let me see those things. You kidding me?
Why just buy gas when you can fill smart?
You gonna call her on it?
Arco, fill smart.
It's very important listening to people because, you know, not that many people have someone that'll really listen to them.
Having someone in my life that could listen is the most important thing to me.
The only place where every car will give you an instant feeling of exhilaration. That one place is your Mazda dealer. And this weekend is a great time to take a test drive and experience the soul of a sports car that's in every Mazda. And take advantage of great offers. Right now, get limited term 0% APR financing on any 2002 Mazda. Or up to $2,750 cash back on select models. So don't miss out. Hurry to your Mazda dealer this weekend.
And now the Too Fresh World Tour. Now everybody listen up. Listen up, please. Because I'm going to tell you about a little monster cheese. It's cool, it's fresh, it's all natural, and they call it Mini, Mini, Mini Baby Bell. Your mama's going to love it, your daddy will too, because it has so much pure milk, it almost says moo. Mini Baby Bell, soft, mild, delicious. We wrap in wax to lock in flavor. We add a little pull tab, we're doing you a favor.
Look for Mini Baby Bell. On sale now at Albertsons.
Real great cheese, all wrapped up.
Mom, Dad, welcome to our new home. Oh, Bill's afraid of termites, so we had the entire home made of concrete.
Oh, so modern.
Comfortable. Here's a better idea. The Terminex Lifetime Protection Plan covers repairs on any new termite damage. Don't you want protection this good? 1-800-TERMINEX. No bugs, no hassles.
For a mattress, good for the back.
My name is Richard Stone. Recently, I had a whole body scan at Inside Track. I wanted to check the condition of my heart because of a history of high cholesterol. I was happy to see that my heart and arteries looked fine, but I was stunned to find out I had a tumor on my kidney. I didn't have any symptoms at all. Inside Track saved my life. Please don't wait. Call Inside Track and find out what's going on inside you. If you don't look, you'll never know.
If you don't think that you're doing all that you can for the state of California, lawmakers in Sacramento are going to give you a chance to pay. Lawmakers call it the Tax Me More plan. Under this plan, you would have the option of checking a little box on your California state tax return and donate more money to the state.
For anybody out there who feels they're not being taxed enough, they can write on that line any amount that makes them feel better, and we'll be happy to spend it for them.
Now, if you feel like you're not being taxed enough, I want you to hold up your hand right now. California is facing, however, a $17 billion budget shortfall, and they hope that the act will help cover that deficit.
With this year's income tax deadline just around the corner, state officials have some advice for filers who are expecting refunds. 60% of all California taxpayers receive refunds this time of year, and officials say many do not receive their money right away because of some very common errors. Either their Social Security number or their mailing address is wrong.
And after a couple of weeks, you're going to go, hey, where's my tax return? I don't have it. And they are going to contact us, and then that's when we'll go in and update your address, and that will have added 2, 3, 4 weeks to your receiving time.
Last year's average refund was $577. Of course, the tax deadline is once again April 15th.
There is yet another sign that the economy apparently is on the rebound. The latest numbers from the Commerce Department show a growth in personal income and consumer spending. Spending rose at its fastest pace in 5 months. Economists were not surprised, but the increase in income was, they say, higher than they anticipated.
Tax-free shopping. Sounds good? We'll show you where it's happening and why.
Then you give the extra money to the state of California.
There you go.
Plus, why some airlines don't want to install the stronger cockpit doors, what they do want to install instead.
But first tonight, a little princess makes her royal debut.
Want a new Toyota Camry for under $17,000? Then come to Carson Toyota this weekend. As one of California's largest Toyota dealers, they have hundreds of Camrys to choose from, with plenty for only $16,988, including air, CD player, and more. Only $16,988. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Carson Toyota. New 2002 Camrys, only $16,988. Carson Toyota, just off the 405 freeway at the Wilmington exit in Carson.
Catch the excitement of thoroughbred racing at Santa Anita Park, now through April 21st. Or watch and wager at your local satellite wagering facility.
If you're like most people, you probably shopped around for a deal on your car. You probably even shop around for your gas. Why are you spending so much for auto insurance? Compared to other national insurance companies, Mercury saves you money.
I'm Michael Armendariz. I saved $746 switching from 21st Century to Mercury Insurance.
With over 2,000 agents and brokers, Mercury is ready to help save you money. Call 1-888-4MERCURY now or click on trustmercury.com.
How do we at Verizon seem to know what you need?
How do we know when you need to juggle? Or snuggle? How do we know you want to join the party?
No matter where you are.
Just call. We'll ask. We'll listen.
We'll get to know your needs.
Then we'll put together the right package of products and services to help make your life a little easier.
Now, we'll show you what we know. Verizon.
I'm Brian Williams. Tonight from the explosive front lines of Israel, Tom Brokaw's reporting. Can anyone prevent all-out war? And telemarketers and all those phone calls. Even when you tell them don't call, they don't listen. Turns out there are new ways to stop them. Tonight on NBC Nightly News.
Japan's royal family treated the world to a rare glimpse of its newest member, the baby Crown Princess Aiko. Crown Prince Naruhito, the heir to Japan's imperial throne, and his wife showed off their young daughter today. The family walked through the royal gardens, making a brief stop to wave at reporters here. Today marked the baby's first feeding by chopsticks, considered to be one of the several milestones for the young princess. During the feeding ceremony, family members prayed the child will have good health throughout her life.
Just in time for Easter, imagine digging into 60 pounds of mouth-watering, sinfully sweet milk chocolate. Well, that